In a Western Conference that promises to be loaded with contenders, the prospect of missing your top superstar for nearly a third of the season would usually be a death knell. Not so for the Memphis Grizzlies, who are uniquely equipped to withstand Ja Morant's 25-game suspension. If you thought Ja's absence meant this would be the year Memphis comes crashing down to earth, think again. Obviously, the Grizzlies need Morant in order to reach their big picture goals. It was Ja's arrival and his audacious, fearless playing style that helped breathe life back into the franchise. They're not competing for a championship without him, so it's imperative that when the two-time All-Star eventually returns, he stays on the floor and avoids the poor decision-making that has twice gotten him suspended by the league. But the Grizzlies can and will survive the first 2 months of the season without him. Losing Dillon Brooks and Tyus Jones hurts, as Brooks' contributions had become undervalued in Memphis, and Jones was consistently one of the best reserve guards in the league. But if you were looking for one player to replace what Brooks and Jones combined to give the Grizzlies the last few years, Marcus Smart might be your best bet.
Not the hero we deserved, but the hero we needed.
While smaller than Brooks and not the shooter or caretaker Jones is, Smart brings a combination of defense and playmaking Memphis now desperately needs. His shooting limitations notwithstanding, Smart's an underrated offensive point guard who can keep an offense flowing and should do well in a low-usage role beside sharpshooter Desmond Bane. The former Celtic is as close to a one-man defense as a guard gets. He's as stout as anyone in the league on the perimeter, is strong enough to guard up, active enough to cause havoc for opposing teams just trying to get into their offense, and positionally sound enough to act as a great help defender despite being only 6'3". Pairing the 2022 Defensive Player of the Year award winner with 2023 Defensive Player of the Year Jaren Jackson Jr. gives Memphis an almost unfair guard-big duo on that end of the court. Jackson also gives the Grizzlies the ability to utilize any scheme, while the presence of Steven Adams means Memphis can still match up with bigger opposing front courts. So even without Brooks, expect the Grizzlies to continue mauling opponents on the defensive end. Meanwhile, Adams' screening and offensive rebounding, Jackson's continued offensive improvements, and the presence of Bane, who flirted with a 50-40-90 season last year while averaging more than 21 points per game, mean the jawless Grizzlies should be just fine offensively. Don't forget, they'll also get a full season of Luke Kennard after the NBA's two-time defending three-point percentage leader arrived in Memphis at last year's trade deadline.
I forgot about that guy.
There are reinforcements elsewhere, too. Though Brandon Clark remains sidelined following a serious Achilles injury, third-year big man Santi Aldama should continue to earn more of head coach Taylor Jenkins' trust after being somewhat of a revelation last season. In addition, 2021 top 10 pick Zaire Williams is back in the fold after a knee injury hampered his sophomore season. Remember, Williams had emerged as a starter for the 56-win Grizzlies in his rookie year. Heck, if Derrick Rose can give the Grizzlies anything beyond veteran leadership in his return to his collegiate home, Memphis is laughing. All of that, and we haven't even mentioned the fact the Grizzlies have had plenty of experience and success playing without Ja before. Between Morant's injuries and a previous suspension, Memphis has gone 31-15 with Ja out of the lineup over the last 2 seasons. A better, more balanced version of the team, with Jackson and Bane ready to lead, should be able to do it again to start this season. If they do, and a focused Morant returns in December, the Grizzlies might be ready to get over the hump in May and June.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video and want to see more content like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button.